Again, entering our next gate here to the main temple complexes with the big pagoda here at Koyasan, pagoda of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. So entering the gate here. This whole area is very old, the original buildings. Beautiful fall day here in October. Here's the famous pagoda here, stupa, and inside, you're not allowed to take pictures, I'll try and point a little bit, is the beautiful statues of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, 5 transcendent Buddhas, which are the enlightened aggregates, 5 aggregates. So form, discrimination, consciousness, feeling, and compositional factors or other mental secondary minds, represented by the Buddhas, Virachana, Amitabha, Ekshobhya, Ratnasambhava, and Amoghasiddhi. So this is the famous one here of Buddha Dainichi Nyorai, Virachana, who is the patron deity of the mandalas, diamond and womb sphere of so I'm not allowed to do this. I'll just do this super quick. Anyway, just take a peek. Can't really see too much. Very, very beautiful. This is the whole temple complex here. And you can maybe see Buddha Dainichi Nyorai's face. Here a little bit. I try and respect the rules as best I can here and not disrespect when they say not to take photos or videos or something. So I'll just sit over here. So Dainichi Nyorai, inner radiance Buddha, Buddha Virachana, Buddha form. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Relative reality and ultimate reality are the same. Is the what they call primordial Buddha, or the main Buddha, kind of like Buddha Dorje Chang or Vajradhara is for Anuttara, the highest Yoga Tantra. Buddha Dainichi is the center of the Buddha paradise or mandalas of what they call diamond sphere and womb sphere being relative reality, diamond sphere being ultimate reality of emptiness, benerization and emptiness. So the center figure in both of these huge mandalas you see on either side of every shrine or altar room in Shingon Buddhism or Japanese Vajrayana Buddhism is this deity Buddha Dainichi Nyorai, sort of symbolizing the Dharmakaya mind realizing emptiness. And Kukai Kobodaishi, the founder, Kobodaishi is a title, it's sort of like Virachana, enlightened being in person. He is the seen as an emanation of Buddha Dainichi Nyorai or Virachana. So moving on for Dreams and Emptiness, our next one being the mind-only school, or Yogacara school, as it's often called, or Chittamantran, chit meaning mind in Sanskrit. Big bell here. So, of all schools, this is a very good school to sort of think about, to use dreams as an analogy, because in a lot of ways, they use this analogy a lot in mind-only school, dreams. So, when you think about this, the question they always want to ask is, How do you know when you're dreaming and when you're awake? What's the difference? Like even right now, are you dreaming? Is this like all big dream, right? Some say dreams aren't as vivid or precise as your waking life, and so it's easy to tell the difference between them, and that's sort of true. We can think that that's true in a lot of ways. But then for some people, of course, their dreams are very, very vivid and precise, just like their waking life. So if that's the case, then what's the difference between the two? And what if it were reversed? If you're just in a coma, your daily life's so boring, you're sort of sleepwalking through your day-to-day life, and yet your dreams are very, very vivid and very, very real. Wouldn't it be the case that your dreams are more real than sort of your daily boring life, going on the subway to work, day in, day out, every day being the same, not paying attention to things, just like I say, just being kind of asleep when you're awake, and then all of a sudden, wow, you have these incredible dreams that are more real, more meaningful to you in dream time than when you're awake. Wouldn't it be the case that it would be reversed? Another time some people say that we know the difference between waking and dreaming in terms of the logic or continuity of our waking life is, well, in a lot of ways it's more logical. There's more of a continuity, whereas our dreams can be very, as we'd say, surreal and very illogical, sometimes even kind of like Alice in Wonderland, even ridiculous. We also get more of what Edmund Husserl, the founder of modern school phenomenology, said, that we always know the difference between our dream time and our waking time, because our waking time has more what he calls experiential data or evidence. Not only is there a logic to things in your day-to-day life that dreams don't have, whatever. One moment I'm in a dream and I'm flying, next moment I'm swimming, next moment I'm turning into a dog running down the street or something like that, and things transform into one another or into different things. That doesn't happen in our waking life. But also there isn't the kind of evidence that we have in our waking life. If you just look in front of you, just here on the ground, all the different details, I can examine each of these things, pine cones on the ground, the sort of gravel here. I can go and look at all the details in the big pagoda or stupa here, whereas in a dream it's kind of not like that. But at the same time, what if your dreams were, had more experiential detail and evidence, and that your waking life was illogical or confused, mixed up, and chaotic? Like, just think of having that form of mental illness or dementia, or even being on drugs, smoking drugs all the time, being on drugs, and your waking life is this kind of weird mishmash, whereas your dreams might be very, very logical and full of all sorts of evidence, just traveling in your dreams, journeying and meeting different people. How would we know the difference between the two of them? Would they be indistinguishable at that point, your dreams and your waking life? And just think also that you can dream of living a normal life. You have dreams where you're dreaming just going to work, going out for dinner, vacuuming the house, this kind of thing. And that would seem very, very real as your normal life, whereas your normal life might be very, very confused, let's say, right? What would be the difference? So my notice was that there's no real ontological difference between your waking experience and your dreaming experience, right? It's just a question of a degree, our habits, our emotional predispositions, patterns, and our judgments, You believe you're awake. And one thing they say, Trimber Rinpoche always said this too, but mind only, it's sort of on an ethical level. We want to believe that waking life's more real because we want to feel more secure, real, safe, being in a sort of an unchanging, solid, supportive world, the sort of stability of quote-unquote reality of our day-to-day waking life compared to sort of surreal quality and changing and phantom quality, illusory quality of our dreams, right? So we're attached to things, wanting them to be more real than they are in our waking life, right? Just think of when we have sort of a mental illness or we're sick, older people with dementia, how scared they get of things, of change, of things being different, or this kind of thing, and they're wanting everything to stay the same and being sort of supportive or known or comfortable. We're like that with our own sort of attachment to comfort, right? So just think of this, not wanting to be sort of frightened and confused. It's this kind of attachment that makes us think things are more real than they are, right? you know, when we wake up from a bad dream, we're relieved that it's kind of over and it wasn't real, right? And in a lot of ways in waking life, we're just the same way, where we want things to be real, you know, we want things to, seem more real than they are, to be more supportive, kind of like, you know, waking up from a bad dream, just having that sense of, oh, you know, I'm feeling supportive because the real world's here to make me feel that things have a meaning and a sense, an order and logic, that in a lot of ways on a deeper level we know they don't. So Mind Only School says what a dream is that your 6 consciousnesses, your 5 sense consciousness, your mental consciousness, rather than being sort of posed outwardly or externally, they turn inwardly, you know, and create images of their own that become dreams. And so they say just kind of like waves on an ocean, you know, the ocean, maybe all these turbulent waves that would represent external reality become sort of smooth. Maybe it's not a windy day, and then the ocean becomes more still or temperate. And then the mind sort of turns back on itself, right? But then we take these images to be real because of the 7th Klistamanis, or deluded consciousness, when really they're just waves on a laya vijnana, the 8th storehouse consciousness, the absolute mind here. So the only point being is that Mind Only doesn't say that there's a difference between waking and dreaming per se, because there is a difference. We know that there's a difference. But this difference isn't an essential or substantial difference. You know, we know in Mind Only School that it's our karmic seeds in a laya vijnana that create objects and subjects, that create a mind and the world, or so you can say the dreamer in the dream world that they live in here. But basically, on an ontological level, they're the same. Everything is mind. Know that everything is mind. So we can basically say, just like dreaming and waking are the same, everything's just a projection of your mind.